Hey, Dr. Gloria, this is Bob Everson, and I'm excited to give you a presentation of of my final exam regarding the MEDS Health and Wellness Model. MEDS stands for Mind, um, Exercise, Diet, and Social Support. So I'm going to explore a little bit more with this health and wellness model, and hopefully you'll come out of this with a better idea of what this model can do to improve better health behavior. I'm excited to talk about it. All right, next slide. Okay, now we'll go over the overview of the MEDS health and wellness model. First, we'll have an introduction, talk a little bit about what this model is, what it does, and the description of it. Then there's the four pillars of MEDS of health and wellness model, which kind of using a little bit from Dean Ornish cardiovascular heart reversal program, as well as Blue Zones, but I kind of Bobized it, so it's I can't take all the credit, but definitely those pillars started it's like a solid foundation, but I've tweaked it and made some enhancements to it. I really believe in it. I think it's important. Ever since what I went through with my cardiovascular disease, my quadruple heart bypass, I really feel very strongly about this. So we'll go to the next slide. After the last part, we will talk about the summary. So, all right, looking forward to the next slide. Okay, so a brief introduction of the MEDS health and wellness model. Target audience are for adults, from all races and ethnic groups, but I don't want to limit it just to adults. Also, if they're younger adults that would see benefit, I don't want to limit it just to people 18 and older. It could apply to people 18 and younger. Also, what's really important is the need for a person that they need to be motivated to want to have this health behavior. If they don't want to make a change, it's hard to change somebody. Like I mentioned with me when I was in my early 20s, if I'd have taken this health behavior course, I might have read this, and this might have been important things to think about as far as eating a healthier diet and exercise. But if I didn't live through what I lived through as far as going under the knife with this surgery I had, probably wouldn't have resonated with me. Everybody thinks you're invincible when you're younger and things, and so you learn throughout life that you know you are mortal and you will die. But you can make some changes in your life to have a healthier lifestyle, and that's what this program that I really believe in it. I think want to focus on to help people. Um, Also, people, like you talked about in the class, they're influenced by their beliefs, attitudes, and norms of the way they were raised. I know the way I was raised, I thought a certain health behavior of high carbs, no vegetables, and type of diet. And was the way that most people ate with our, because I was in a low socioeconomic type of family. But I always thought the more the richer people could afford the better foods, but that's not totally true. I mean, now I've learned it's a basic, fresh fruits and vegetables that's better than eating the lobster with all the butter poured on top of it. So you don't need to be rich. So those are attitudes that I had when I was younger. Also, people need to be proactive in their managing their health. So you got to want to change, and you got to want to be able to manage it. You can't depend on the PCP to take care of you. It's more self-managed these days. You got these devices that you can monitor your health. So if you don't do it, nobody else will. Especially when you're an adult, your parents aren't there taking care of you any longer, so you're on your own. So I'm going to embrace the four pillars and talk about the four pillars for the MEDS health and wellness model. One is mind, like I mentioned, stress management, exercise, diet, preferably plant-based diet, and social support. So we'll go to the next slide. Okay, uh, Dr. Gloria, the first pillar of the MEDS health and wellness model is mindfulness, stress management. Stress can definitely be harmful in a person's health, for their health and their quality of life. I remember that video you sent me regarding, the animals. I had the fight or flight type of thing where the lion was chasing the zebra, and so it, took off, and all that stress was adrenaline rush was the zebra wanted to have it be safe and not be eaten by the lion, or you might have another lion that a lion attacking another lion where maybe they want to fight, they don't want to fight. So there's different people handle stress different ways, and so and how you manage that. There's some ways you can manage stress, and I see it so much in the corporations. I don't want to go down that path, but I read more and more about stress in the corporate environments, and it's getting to be an epidemic. So some actions to take to manage stress or meditation. So that's one of the huge things about it's not just exercise and diet. You need to really manage the stress. I mean, you even talked about in the class about how you can get illnesses. People handle stress differently, so they can get illnesses, um, and it can be detrimental. I see it all the time. So meditation, at least a few times a week, preferably every day if you can, at least. Um, I know when I did the Dr. Ornish program, it was at least an hour, and it's so you feel so much better after you can just stop, just be in the present, just deep breathing, and just be in the present. I mean, just forget about everything else that's going on, who's getting on your nerves, and um, it's just a peaceful way to be. So it definitely there's huge benefits. Also, yoga is another way to help relaxation and just slow down. People are just too much on the go. I thought that was just on the mainland. I feel like sometimes it happens here in Hawaii, and sometimes I feel like I'm recreating my life that I had in Seattle back here in Hawaii. And then focus on the positive. Some people, you hear something negative and somebody just goes off on the deep end. But I've learned to turn the lemon into lemonade. Just be realistic about things. But if I used to catastrophize about the world's gonna end, but it's not. Just look at it and say, okay, something I need to work on. What can I do and stop being a victim? But what can I do to help improve this situation? For me, instead of just being the victim. So these are some good stress management points. Okay, off to the next pillar. Okay, so the next pillar number 2 is exercise. One of my favorite. Uh, with me working in the computer field and many other occupations, people work in different occupations. Um, People are sedentary. They sit behind a computer all day long, and they during while they're working, then they come home. Either they're surfing the internet or they're watching TV, and less people are getting out there and exercising. In fact, it was kind of interesting. I just joined a few months ago. I joined a softball league here in Hawaii, and our company HMSA had a softball team, so I thought I'd go out and join. It was funny when I stepped out on the field. These guys have been playing for years together, and they're from Hawaii. And the first thing they said, "Oh, we finally have some diversity, some white meat." That was kind of funny. I'd never been called white before, but it was all in fun. But they mentioned that nobody really under the age of 40 were coming out and playing softball. It was more the older guys. So it's interesting. Most people want to play video games. They don't want to get out. So there's definitely a shift where people have to be, will have to see the benefits of exercising. Um, so also, some I have put on my slide here. There's some ways to improve health and wanting to exercise. And like I said, if you have the willingness to do that, the first thing people really can do. It doesn't have to be high intensity, but do some cardio workouts a few times a week. Nothing intense. Um, Also, maybe some lightweight training a few times a week. Doesn't have to be you're going out for the Olympics, but just some light weights a few times, and even walking. I do that a lot with my wife. We just walk around Kapiolani Park. It's stress, low impact, and it's enjoyable. You actually bond more with your partner when you do things like that. I recommend it. It improves your social support. And also participate in activities, anything that's fun. I mean, if you're enjoying it, you're going to do it more. If it's painful, like, oh, 3 sets of 10, no, one more, it's not fun. Maybe for some people, I know it wasn't for me. So just enjoy an activity that you enjoyed, and that's more the long-term type of thing where you want to keep doing it versus a short-term. This is a sprint, not a marathon. So anyway, off to the next pillar. Okay, pillar number 3, diet. Very important. Um, One thing that's recommended, I know in the Ornish program, was the plant-based diet. Actually, they recommend vegan. Um, so for me, with all the exercise that I do, my PCP did recommend that I maybe eat a little bit of protein. So I do eat some chicken and some fish on a weekly basis. Not a lot. Definitely red meat, very little, none to, yeah, very little. Maybe a small piece once every other month. I'm off of that. And oils too. Lay off the oils. I do have some olive oil. That's at a healthy small portion. But definitely all the other oils that are bad for you. Those are artery plaquers. Um, they love filling the plaques up with the red. So they Ornish did specify no meats, especially red meats and the oils. So I have some ways to improve diet as far as definitely shop the perimeter of the store. Eat all the shop for fresh fruits and vegetables. Some legumes for some protein, maybe some tofu. We'll lay off the GMOs and things, but all natural foods. Definitely, like I mentioned, avoid a lot of oils and red meats and dairy products. And if you're going to eat any meats, eat minimal fish and chicken. Recommend vegetarian. And interesting, Ornish, when I was in the program, my plaque did reverse a lot. I mean, I'm it's not zero, but definitely made some huge, huge, huge headways there. But I remember, I don't know if you remember, I don't know if you're familiar with Pac-Man, the video game. I kind of made a comment. I said, "Wow, all this plaque is being chopped away like Pac-Man." I changed it from Pac-Man to calling it Plaque Man because it's eating all the plaque away. I mean, at least as best as they can. So I'm so excited about this health and wellness model as far as these four pillars because with all these four components, it helps all those things contribute to just more plaque man, eating all the plaques out of the artery and just having a healthier lifestyle and just managing this cardiovascular disease. So I've accepted it, but I'm managing it and doing everything I can in my control. So um, we'll go to the next slide. Okay, the fourth pillar is social support. Just like we learned in the class, people are influenced by their social network. And people do prefer social networks with the same values and attitudes. And I know in the example in the book and you talked about it too, Dr. Gloria, if you joined a social network where everybody smoked, there's a high likelihood that you'll either start pick up smoking. And it's unlikely, rare, if you have a huge network, people in the network and having them all change to be non-smokers. So likely either you'll join the same habits, unhealthy behavior habits like that social network, or you join another social network that has the same values and beliefs that you have. So it's important. You are who you hang out with. So it's good to have good family support with it, whatever your goals are, and it's good to have friends with the same goals. You don't need to have the negative people in your network to discourage you. You want them to be supportive. So that's really critical, either in the social media or face to face. So some actions for positive social networks are, like I mentioned, surround yourself with people that are similar to your beliefs. Join social networks that support healthy behaviors that you believe in, and then social networks that encourage health screenings because you want your loved ones and your friends to say, hey Bob, or so and so, you need to go in for your yearly PCP physical, or the females, their mammography screenings. Of course, when you hit 50, the colonoscopies are not very fun. So it's good to have that social support. So off to the next slide. So in summary, the MEDS health and wellness model will help improve quality of life if you follow the four pillars. It's never too late to turn around your health. The body's resilient. People think, oh, well, I've been smoking all my life, or I've been eating McDonald's all my life. It's an excuse. You can still change. Yeah, it won't be like when you're in your teens, if you're in your 30s or 40s, but you can change. I remember my PCP gave me a great example as far as plaque built up in the arteries. he mentioned that picture of a house. You build a house, it's got brand new plumbing pipes, and so the pipes are pristine, they're clean. But over years and decades, there becomes to be buildup in those pipes, and so just like your body, you eat a lot of junk food, a lot of fried foods in your teens, your 20s, 30s, 40s. It starts building up. Then it's a matter of how much plaque is too much. So what you do in your earlier, childhood to 20s and 30s, it makes a difference in your when you get into your 30s, 40s, and 50s. I know I was aware of that, but I ignored it. Thought, I have great genes that won't happen to me. But it's not true. Maybe some people are resilient. Some people can smoke for 100 years and never get lung cancer, but low probability. Just do the best you can in your control. Anyway, you need to have the motivation and determination to change your health behavior. Nobody can force you to do it, but you have to want to do it. And you need to take accountability. I remember Owner's program was a great program. I think it was for nine weeks, 2 hours, 4 hours a night for twice a week. And they weighed you, they checked your weight, and they checked your blood pressure. And so, there was some accountability. But after the program, I was trying to keep emails, like keep in touch with the alumni finishing the program. It just kind of faded away. In fact, some people at work went to a different program and they kind of went to their old habits. So you got to want to be able to stick with it. It's tough, but if you want to do it, you can do it. I've been doing it. So health is your responsibility. The outcomes are tremendous. I know my blood work is excellent as far as my lipids, my cholesterol, my blood pressure, keeping the weight down. That's probably the most key. As long as the weight is down, at least for me, all my other numbers look great. So it's motivation to continue on. The outcomes are tremendous. So I'm excited. If you're excited about wanting to get in the program, I'm excited for you to be part of it, of the MEDS program. I think it's a great program. It all starts here and now. So I'm excited for you to want to be part of this program. At this point, I'd like to take some time to see if anybody has any questions. And for Dr. Gloria, just after all the videos I watched for these past 8 weeks, I had to buy my Hawaii Pacific shirt. I don't look as great as you do, as far as you look great behind the camera, but I thought I'd represent HPU and help market that as part of this video. I know it's going to be on YouTube, so I'm excited. I think you gave a great exam, really thoughtful, provoking questions, and I think this video was a great thing. I know it's part of the accreditation for CEPH, so I think that's great as well. So in closing, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I hope this motivates you to want to live a healthier, well-balanced lifestyle. Thank you, and have a great day.